Hello, everyone, friends and Mountaineer Nation. It's time for the Black History Month moment, and I'm going to salute my friend, my mentor, and my client, Arthur Ashe Jr. And I'll start out by reading what his wife wrote me back in the day uh, as I was embarking on my journey to start Titan Financial Services, Inc., which was a sports management firm that uh, represented professional athletes financially and partnering with them to have success off the field or off the court. And the letter goes as follows. Congratulations on TFS. I hope things are going very well for you. I know Arthur would have been so pleased to know that you started your own business. And that sounded like Arthur and what he thought I should be doing, but he also we talked a lot about entrepreneurship because sometimes I often complained about employer-employee relationships. And he said the only way to get around that is to start your own journey and start your own business. So he encouraged my entrepreneurial spirit, but it was a learning experience in owning my own business. And I was just blessed to know Arthur Ashe Jr. because it was incredible. But in the letter from Dr. King to Arthur Ashe, he was thanking him for fighting for freedom, justice, and dignity for all, not just black people. That's what it was all about, civil rights. This was a global effort. And that's what Dr. King was about. And he was paying homage to Arthur Ashe. And he also stated in that same letter, your eminence in sports and athletics gives you added authority and responsibility. Let's run it again. The sentence says, your eminence in sports and athletics gives you added responsibility and authority. So what does that mean? And what did Dr. King mean in thanking Arthur Ashe for his support in the civil rights movement? Well, what it meant was that Arthur Ashe, as a tennis player, did not have to go beyond just playing tennis and his individual goals. But he supported and dedicated his life to helping the civil rights movement, something that was way bigger than him, of the injustices to black people in America and to all people that didn't have their rights. So it all came together. But he was a catalyst for that. And when you look at Arthur Ashe and others like him, you know your Jim Browns, your Bill Russells, your Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, your Muhammad Alis, your John Wootens, and it's not John Wooden, it's John Wooten, played for the Browns. When you have all of those guys, plus celebrities like Harry Belafonte, Mahalia Jackson, and many others, politicians and the general community, combining for an effort to support the civil rights movement, there has not been anything like it since in America. And Arthur Ashe was a part of that. And you say, well, what did those silent generation and the baby boomers, what did they do? What did they give Generation X and Y and Z? Well, before I get to that, I would just like to tell Generation X, Y, and Z, well, what did you put in to the movement? I pretty much know what those athletes and that group put into the civil rights movement. The baby boomers and the silent generation, it resulted in the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the 1965 Voting Rights Act, the 1968 Fair Housing Act. That's a trifecta the last time I checked. That's what those athletes like Arthur Ashe did for the next generation and for this generation and for many generations to come. That's what they put in. Arthur had endorsements, but that didn't mask his fight for social justice. He didn't have to lawyer up or go back and ask his agent, should he be doing this? Or his financial advisor, or commercialing up. He was an independent thinker that wanted to impact things and mankind beyond the game. And that's what you don't see a lot of today. You see a lot of microeconomics, individual commercials, individual wealth building, individual educational initiatives. Those are nice, but what Dr. King thanked Arthur for was the fact that he got involved with something way bigger than what he ever did on the court. It's the macro impact, not the micro impact. There's a big difference. And so that's what that generation, silent generation and baby boomers in the athletic world, left us, combined with many others that were on the trail for justice, freedom, and dignity for all. That's the way it was. And now the big question is, what is today's athletes bringing to the table to pass on to the next generation? Because many followers are hooked on their commercials, their individual wealth, their play on the field, and they forgot that life rolls on. And there's impacts that happens to many individuals in America, that to mankind, that reaches far beyond the field. So we're living with a lot of what I call micro athletes today. The giant icons put in the work, and that's what it takes. Arthur wasn't concerned about contributing $50,000 to a hospital or whatever. He wanted to put his face to a civil rights movement. And that's the difference between athletes today and the ones yesterday. It's called sacrifice. And coming from the heart and from the soul of a man. And that's what it's about. This is C. Ivan Franklin. And here again, saluting Arthur Ashe Jr. and his family for their contributions. And I was just blessed again to get to know him. And really just taking it all in. But here again, C. Ivan Franklin. One minority voice, one view. At B. Frank for real. And I say, see you later. But that question of what's going to be passed to the next generation is a haunting question, because it's not going to be built on individualism. And that's the age that we live in now. See